Okay. Good morning. Good morning. All right. We'll just get started. I'm Josephine, and today we're gonna do a dancing warrior series. So it'll hopefully be like a moving meditation, and a little repetitive, but we'll kind of constantly be adding on to the flow, and we'll be doing a lot of shoulder work as well. So some plank pose holds, and just a warning if you know your wrists get uncomfortable in plank. One, you could always go onto your forearms, or you could grab a blanket, or just be ready to fold your mat under a few times just to give a little bit more cushion to your wrists. But we'll also warm up our wrists too before that. So with that, let's get started. Start in a comfortable seat. So for me, I like to start in hero's pose, where I'm sitting on my heels. If you want to join me here, you can, and especially maybe using a prop underneath your seat since it's a little early. Sometimes heroes can be a little intense for the morning. Then wherever the hands feel comfortable, you can have the palms facing up toward the sky, drawing in toward the hips, or have them extended a little bit longer toward the knees. And you're probably paying attention to the breath, maybe naturally already taking deeper breaths in through the nose and maybe out through the mouth. And for the next few rounds, I did this in class last week, placing one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly, and taking a deep breath in and then breath out. Another breath in and a breath out. So noticing as you breathe in, which hand is moving more. And then if it's more of the chest, see if you can shift down and expand more through the belly, keeping the chest and the shoulders neutral. I naturally started doing ujjayi breath. So that's a light constriction through the back of your throat, and it's a ha sound. If you practice that, you can join me. And you can do ujjayi throughout class too. Maybe releasing the hands if it's helpful to have them still, though, on the body. You can continue to breathe that way or releasing them down onto the legs. Beginning to notice the spine. Visualize the spine all the way from the crown of the head down to the tail. Noticing any areas where you feel like you're hyperextended through your spine, maybe through the low back. Noticing if you're leaning slightly forward. So trying to stack the crown of the head directly over the hips. Noticing any tension along the spine or in the upper body, the shoulders, the back of the head. And your next breath in, see if you can take a deep breath into the upper back. And a deep breath in through the mid back. And then a deep breath in through the low back. And a breath in, connecting all 3 points of the spine together. Inhale. And exhale, sending the breath to whatever area of the body feels the most tense or tight. And we'll do that just one more time. Slowly, maybe blinking the eyes open. You can keep the eyes closed. And we'll start by warming up the wrists. So going in one direction for a bit, just making little spirals. And then going in the opposite direction. This time, interlace the fingers and make figure eights. And then go in the opposite direction. And then place the tops of the hands. If you are still in heroes, this will work here. Tops of the hands on the thighs. And then take the other way. So for me, my arms are a little long, so I can place them on the floor and I'll lean forward slightly. So if it feels okay to place them on your thighs, you can do that, or just off on the side of the knees. And one more breath. Your next inhale, reach the arms up toward the sky. Exhale, side bend toward the left. Pause for a full breath in and out. And inhale, back up to center. Exhale, side bend toward the right. Inhaling, center again. Exhale, bend toward the left. This time, maybe reaching forward. You feel a stretch in your low back. Inhaling. And exhale, walking the hands over to the other side, starting with the side bend. Inhale, reaching. And exhale, walking the hands forward. Low back stretch, really imagine rooting through the opposite hip. And inhaling at center, reach the arms forward. And exhale, walking them back. We'll take just one more stretch in the seat. If you need to adjust your feet, feel free. Take a deep breath in at center, grow tall through your spine. And on the exhale, stretching the neck. So send the left ear toward the left shoulder, relaxing the right shoulder. Relaxing the jaw. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, chin toward chest. Slowly make your way over to the other side. Really creating a lot of space if this is kind of an area where you carry a lot of tension, and through the shoulders, the traps, the neck. Your next exhale, let's send the head over toward the left again. Taking your time to get there, working through any tightness. And your next exhale, back over toward the right. And exhale, chin down toward the chest at center. Again, relax the shoulders. And pause for one more breath in. And a full breath out. Inhaling, bringing the head back up and just shake it out. If you are using any kind of prop underneath your seat, feel free to move it. And let's meet in all fours for cat-cow. So I'll offer a few more wrist stretches. You can rotate your hands to where your fingers are facing the knees, and you can just gently bend the elbows here, and then take cat-cow as normal. So inhaling to arch, exhale to round. If that's uncomfortable, you can just take the wrist stretch for a few times and then take cat-cow. Maybe closing the eyes. Really aligning the breath with the movement. So completing each inhale, or completing the movement with each inhale, and completing the rounded back, the cat back with each exhale. Really scooping through the low belly. We'll do 2 more rounds, inhaling and exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale. Your next breath in, coming through to center, neutral spine, and then walking the hands forward, coming into puppy pose. So if you have a pretty flexible spine, avoid coming into your deepest version of puppy here. So just let the forehead drop down to the mat. And sending some breath to the front of the body, the arms, the chest. Inhale, coming back up. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Draw the triceps, the outer arms in towards your midline. Scooping through the low belly. Start to tuck the toes. Make sure that, before we do this, make sure that the shoulders are in line with the wrists. Hips are over the knees. And then start to hover your knees off of the mat. Inhaling and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath, firing up the shoulders and the core. Exhale, release. Either sit back in heroes or take child's pose. Just roll the wrists. And shake it out. We're going to come back into that shape. So coming into all fours, spreading the fingers. Start to tuck the toes, lift the knees. Inhale, if you want, extend the right leg back. Then on the exhale, draw the knee in toward the tricep. We'll do this just 2 times on each side. Inhale and exhale. Then release that foot down. Keep the knees hovering if you can. Extend the left leg. Exhale, knee in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee in. Leaning back in towards center. Breath in. On the breath out, lift the hips up nice and high, finding your way into down dog. Maybe pedaling the feet here, moving from side to side. Few breaths in your downward facing dog. Noticing what your upper body is doing. So if you're just jamming yourself down toward your mat, try to find a little bit more lift in through the upper back. Making sure your ears are in line with your arms and not coming too far past. And imagine creating a V with the body. So the upper body should be long, the legs should be long, even if they're bent, that's fine. But creating nice long lines across the back, the legs. One more breath. On your exhale, bend the knees, shift your gaze forward, take 2 big steps forward, forward fold. So we're going to take a really deep bend in through the knees here, still stretching the wrists. Place the hands the tops of the hands on the mat and place your feet on top of your hands and maybe rock forward and back. And this can be a really deep ragdoll since this is our first forward fold. And then maybe pausing in some stillness for a breath. And releasing on the exhale into a normal forward fold. Maybe catching a hold of opposite elbows, sway from side to side. Again, the knees can be bent. Inhaling. And exhale, release. Inhale, start to reach the arms all the way up toward the sky, come to standing. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, right toes step back, low lunge. Keeping the hands down if you'd like, or lifting the heart up. Maybe hands just come to the hips, or you can reach the arms up toward the sky. Holding for 2 more breaths wherever feels comfortable. On your exhale, releasing down. Step this left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up toward the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, footsteps through, drop the back leg, low lunge on the other side. Reach the arms up if that's what you did on the other side, or whichever variation. I also took a bind behind my back. And apologies for the sniffles. I'm still suffering allergies. Been so since April. And 1 more breath. Exhale, release the hand down. Step it back, high plank pose. Hold for 2 breaths here. Really focus on the length of your spine, how we did in the beginning. So focusing on the mid-back, or the upper back, mid-back, low back. And then focus on a nice long line from the hip bones all the way to the heels. Then connect all of that, the heels to the crown of the head, and feeling really strong. Inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Avoid shifting forward. And meeting on our belly, toes untucked. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. 2 more times like that. Inhale, low cobra, opening the heart. Mini back bend, exhale, lower. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Tuck the toes, 2 options. You can either push back into all fours or engage the legs, maybe lifting the thighs off of the mat, engage the core, and then slowly lifting yourself back up into high plank, exhaling into downward facing dog. Inhale, deep bend in through the knees. Exhale, walk or hop forward, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach the arms all the way up toward the sky. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from the hips. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, right toes back, low lunge. Reach the arms up. Inhaling. Exhale, come down into downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up toward the sky. Exhale, knee in toward the nose. Footsteps through, low lunge on the other side. Reach your arms up if it feels okay on your hips. Just 1 more breath. Exhale, release. High plank pose, again, holding for a few breaths. Really taking the time to notice all the lines of the body. Relaxing the jaw if you tend to tense up here. Inhaling. Exhale. 1 more breath in. No. Exhale, lower down to the belly if you're flowing on line. Hello, sorry about that. If anyone's still following along on Instagram. Okay, so if you're in plank pose, hopefully you lowered down or you had a few extra breaths. Lowering to the belly, inhaling to cobra, exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra, exhale, lower. Just one more time. Inhale. And exhale again, either push to all fours or lift up, plank, exhale, down dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale, exhale. Find lots of length. Inhale, this time lift the right heel. Keep the hips square. Exhale, knee in toward the chest, footsteps through. Pivot your back heel down, rise up into a warrior one. And before you reach your arms up, let's just check in with the hips. I'm going to come a little bit farther forward. So feeling your hip bones, you might notice the left hip is opening up towards your left, and that's okay. But if you have some space in your hips and the flexibility in the legs, try to rotate the hip to face forward. So it's as if you were standing normally and your hip wouldn't be lopsided. Then really straighten through the back leg, strong and through the pinky toe side of the foot, strong and through the big toe mounds, and then lean into your spine. So sometimes we can create an overly arched spine here. So lean into the back, still straight, and inhale, reach the arms up. So you can have the hands separated. I like to bring my palms together up above me. Inhale. Exhale, start to open it up into warrior two. So here's where our hips come open. So our hips are facing the left. Our chest is facing the left. Noticing again if there's too much arch in your low back, try to tuck the tail. Think about the sitting bones drawing down toward the mat. And then extend the arms. Maybe keep the gaze off to the left to keep the upper body in line. And then when you're ready, shift the gaze toward the front of your mat without changing the upper body. Relax the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward, rotate the palm up toward the sky, reverse your warrior. Keep the upper body, again, facing the left, not opening up. Exhale, side angle with the elbow to the knee. Really rooting into the pinky toe side of your back foot. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise back up, warrior two. Exhale, swim the hands down. High plank pose, breath in, breath out. Breath in and out. One more time. On your breath out, either flow down to your belly or chaturanga, so shoulders to elbow height. Inhale, push through to cobra or your upward facing dog. And exhaling back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Get some coffee. And then when you're ready, extending the left leg up toward the sky. Exhale, knee in toward the nose. Footsteps through, back heel pivots down. Rise up, taking your time for this first warrior one. So we're going slow for this first dancing warrior, just to make sure we're all in proper alignment. So feeling the hip bones again, the right hip this time might be a little lopsided, opening up toward your right. So if that's the case, it's okay, but see if you have any space to gently rotate your hips forward. So not forcing anything. If you feel it in your knee, by all means, don't do this, but just see if you can get the hips squared if it's within your capabilities. And then noticing if you're hyperextended, really trying to ground through that back leg just as strong as you are with this bent leg. And then inhale, reach the arms up. One more breath. I always feel really strong when I take more time to set up with the alignment. Then warrior two, again on this side, opening the hips up toward the right side of your mat. The chest is facing the right. Extend the arms. Relax the shoulders. And then nothing changes in the upper body. Just shift your gaze past your middle finger. Imagine the tail, the sitting bones drawing down toward your mat. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward, reverse. Nothing changes with the upper body. Inhaling. Exhale, side angle, elbow to knee. Drawing the tail down again, not letting it kind of pop out. So keeping everything in line. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, push back up to warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, high plank pose for a few breaths. Visualize your whole body from the crown to the heels, active and engaged, yet soft. So working to kind of create like an effortless plank pose, which seems like a oxymoron, and it kind of is, but trying to soften where you can. Inhale. Exhale your flow, chaturanga, or to the belly. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. We'll switch it up here. Bend the knees, shift the gaze forward, walk or hop forward, forward fold. Inhaling. And exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach the arms all the way up toward the sky. Exhale to chair pose. So my chair is always a little bit higher and less kind of like sitting my butt really far back. So I think about 2 lines connecting my sitting bones, my hip bones down to the floor. So I'm really digging into my heels and my spine is straight. So it's almost like just normal standing with slightly bent knees, and you'll still feel it in your thighs quite a bit. Inhaling and exhale. Inhale. On the exhale, start to straighten, bring the palms together at heart center, maybe shake it out. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, plank pose. This time we're going to come onto our forearms. So lower one elbow down at a time. Forearm plank, same idea. Long lines from the crown of the head to the heels. Relaxing the jaw, making sure that the elbows are in line with the shoulders. And again, trying for an effortless forearm plank, which again is kind of a contradiction. This forearm plank is quite challenging. But see if you can just relax a little bit more in your jaw. We're just holding for 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. On your next exhale, option is to come back into that high plank and either flow through a vinyasa or just come into your downward facing dog. Couple breaths, breathing into that fire in the arms. 1 more breath. We'll revisit that Dancing Warrior series. Inhale, lift the right leg. This time, bring the heel toward the bum and open the hip. Really root into the right palm though, so you're not opening the heart too much. And notice if you're really just leaning toward the left. Inhale. Exhale, start to draw the knee in toward the nose. Footsteps through, setting up for warrior 1. Taking your time, but we're going through it a little bit faster. So keeping in mind all the alignment cues, hip square, really rooting through the back foot, leaning into the spine. Inhale. Exhale, open it up, warrior 2. Chest is facing the left, Gaze is just past the right. Relax the shoulders. Your next breath out, hinge forward, reverse your warrior. So option is you can always extend the arm down on the leg, which I sometimes prefer, or typically prefer, or you can take a half bind around the waist. Inhale. Exhale, side angle. So we're adding on. You can always take side angle with the elbow bent, or you can straighten the arm. You can bring the fingertips down toward the toes. If you have a block, you can always use one, or place the hand in front of the foot or behind the foot. Few breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. On your exhale, use the strength of the legs, push back, warrior two. Straighten the front leg. And before we set up for triangle, we're going to heel toe our back foot in just a smidge. And then actually parallel the feet. So I want you to just feel your hip bones right here. So notice how they're facing forward and they're not a little wonky. So really try to keep your hips in this position without forcing it. Of course, they'll change once we start to rotate the foot toward the front of the mat. But imagine that you could keep your hips facing forward. And then inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, hinge forward, keeping the upper body in line with the leg. And so not coming too far forward. And either resting the hand on the shin or on a block or behind the leg. So extending that other arm up toward the sky. This is maybe my favorite pose. Feeling it in a lot of places. Breathing. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly release that top arm on the hip. Bring the gaze down toward the big toe. Walking the right hand about a foot away from the front foot. And start to come into half moon. So being really mindful here of not kicking your left leg past the line of your hip. And that will cause you to fall. Flexing that foot, and then maybe reach the arm up toward the sky. Imagine you had a wall behind you, helping you to open up the heart. Inhale. Exhale, slowly release it down how we came into triangle. Deep breath in. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. High plank pose for 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, your choice of a vinyasa. Meaning in downward facing dog. Fingers spread nice and wide. Feeling where you connect down to your mat through the fingers, through the toes, maybe the balls of the feet, the heels. Inhale, reach the left leg up. Draw the heel toward the bum and then open the hip without opening the chest. Inhale. Exhale, footsteps through, setting up warrior one. Sorry if it got super loud. I left my windows open because this room gets a little bit hot and it's a garbage day, so it shouldn't be too long. Inhale, reach the arms up toward the sky. Inhale. Breath out, exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Breath in. Breath out, hinges forward. Reverse, maybe with the half bind or just extending the arm. Inhaling. Exhale, side angle of your choice with the elbow bent or arm extended out in front or behind the foot. Breath in and out. One more inhale. Exhale, pushing back up, warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Heel toe your back foot in just a smidge. And then hinging forward. Again, thinking about keeping your hips open and keeping the upper body in line with that leg. Making sure you're not hyperextended through the knees as well. Open the heart. One more breath. Exhale, top hand releases to the hip. Walking the left hand forward, opening up into half moon. Oops. Flexing the foot and making sure you're not kicking it past the line of your hip. Then when you're ready, inhale to reach the arm up toward the sky. Breath in. Breath out releases you down. Take your time getting up. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheeling hands down. Come into high plank pose. And this time bring your feet maybe about the distance of your mat. Spreading the fingers nice and wide. We're going to start to lift the left hand off of the mat and then tap the right shoulder and do that on the other side. And so the challenge here is to not move the hips very much. So they'll naturally kind of open up, but you don't want to kind of almost turn it into a side plank. So keep going. One more time on each side. Good. Then coming back into high plank. Flow through your vinyasa if you'd like. Meeting in downward facing dog. Breath in. And a breath out. Let's take a moment in child's pose. Sitting the hips over the heels. Grabbing a sip of water if you need, or tea. And resting in child's pose for, let's say, about 3 breaths. And about a breath or so, meeting in down dog. Inhale. Once you're in down dog, bend the knees, shift the gaze forward. Exhale, walk or hop forward, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root to rise. Arms reach up. Exhale, chair. Lean into the spine. Visualize a line connecting the sitting bones to your heels. Then slowly lift the right knee up toward the sky. Exhale, leg will cross over the left, and then maybe wrap at the ankle if you can. Cactus the arms and wrap right under left. Hands draw up toward the sky, bring them away from the face. Maybe sitting a little bit lower here in our eagle. So everything drawing in toward the midline, making sure your right hip isn't coming up too high. One more breath. Exhale, keep the eagle bind, right knee hugs in, kick that foot back, warrior 3. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in. Breath out, draws the knee back in, high knee raise with the bind, and then exhale, release, shake it out. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, Utkatasana chair. Leaning into the spine, inhale, bring the left leg up, and then wrap the leg around the right. If you can do the double bind, wrap the foot around the ankle. Cactus the arms, left under right. Hands draw up toward the sky, then bring them away from the face and maybe sit a little bit lower. Again, making sure the left hip this time isn't coming too high. One more breath. On your inhale, unwind, knee up toward the chest, and then kick it back into warrior 3. So hips are squaring. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Exhale, knee draws in really strong. And then release the bind. Shake it out. Reach the arms up toward the sky. And exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, your choice to flow to downward facing dog. So if you want a vinyasa, take it, or just meet in down dog. We're gonna do just one more time through that dancing warrior. Again, a little bit faster, flowing with each breath. So inhale, reach the right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, knee in toward the nose. Footsteps through, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Shoulders relax. Exhale, reverse, either with the arm extended or half bind. And exhale into extended side angle. So I'm gonna offer one more option here. You can leave this right hand hovering and reach both arms up for a breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, open it up, straighten the front leg. Maybe bring the back foot in a smidge, triangle pose. One more breath. Exhale, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Taking your time here for a full breath. Exhale, slowly release back into triangle. And then cartwheel the hands down. Make your way into high plank. Come on to the forearms. And forearm plank for 3 breaths. Really strong. One more breath. Option is to walk back into high plank, flow through vinyasa if you want, or meet in downward facing dog. Your next breath in, reach the left leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, knee in toward the nose, footsteps through, rise up, warrior one. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward, rotate the palm, reverse. Find length on your next breath in. Breath out, side angle of your choice. Maybe hovering the left arm. Inhale, extend through the front leg, hinging forward, triangle. One more breath. Exhale, Ardha Chandrasana. Full breath. Slowly release back how we started in triangle. And then cartwheel the hands down, high plank. Forearm plank again. This time we're gonna move into forearm side plank. So you can keep your feet staggered or slowly start to stack at the feet and roll on to the right elbow. So if you need your left hand for support, place it there or start to reach the left arm up toward the sky. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Exhale, close it down, other side. Inhale, reaching. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, close it down. Last option, come back into high plank, flow through a vinyasa, or just meet in down dog, however you'd like. Two breaths in down dog. And slowly dropping the knees, push back, child's pose, maybe releasing the hands off to the side of your hips. Maybe shaking the head yes and no, massaging out the forehead a bit. When you're ready, slowly coming to a seat from your child's pose. Extend the legs about narrow hips distance apart. Draw the left knee in toward the hip, and then have about a palm's width space in between the foot and the thigh. Grow really tall through the spine. Inhale, start to twist toward the bent knee, maybe walking the left hand back behind you. Reach the right arm up, hook the elbow across the knee without forcing anything. So we haven't done much twisting in this flow. Just a gentle twist. Inhaling. And exhale. One more full breath in and out. Inhale, slowly unwind. Let this knee fall out toward the side. Bring the right leg over a little bit more to create some space. And the left heel will come against the right thigh. And if your knee is way up high, you can always place a block underneath. Sorry, my elbow just started cramping. And then slowly we're going to open it up. So grab a hold of the foot if you can, or the right hand will just rest beside the leg and reach the arm up toward the sky. Side bend, one of my favorites. Open the heart, feeling really grounded through the hips. Relax the jaw. If it hurts the neck or aggravates it at all, just look downward. Inhale. Full breath out. Rise back up on your breath in. Release the left hand behind the hip, and we're going to start to ground down onto this knee, coming into kind of a modified flip dog. So extending back, opening up the front body. Breathing into the hips. Inhale. Exhale, slowly coming down, and shake it out. So let's take all of that on the other side. So starting with the feet narrows hips distance apart. Bend the right leg, again, a fist's distance away from the thigh. The foot is a fist distance away from the thigh. Slowly start to twist toward the bent knee. Extend the left arm up, and then hook the elbow. And this left leg should be active, so notice if it's just kind of flopping. So you want to flex the foot, engaging the leg. Again, not forcing anything with this twist, just gentle. One more breath. Slowly unwind on the inhale, allowing this hip to open as you bring the left leg off toward the side. And then slowly hinging toward the straight leg, reaching the right arm up and over, side bend. Opening the heart. If it aggravates the neck to look up, just look downward. One more breath. Inhale, coming back up. This time releasing the right hand behind the hip. We're going to ground down into the right knee and opening up the hips. Reaching the arm back, feeling a nice stretch across the entire front body. And exhale, slowly coming down. Let's bring our heels together. Just take Baddha Konasana, folding forward. If this is uncomfortable in the hips, just bring the heels farther away from you, and that gives you a little bit more space. Spine is long. Imagine drawing the sternum toward the heels. We're here for 3 more breaths. Feeling the hips, the weight of the hips sink into your mat. And inhale, slowly lifting up. Bringing the knees together. And let's find our way onto the back. Once you're there, knees hug in toward the chest. Maybe rocking from side to side. And let's bring our knees together at tabletop and slowly drop them over toward the left. Arms will come to a T. Another twist, but this time supine on our backs. Maybe the gaze shifts over toward the right. Inhale, bringing the knees back up towards center. And exhale, dropping them off toward the right. And so this time, maybe the gaze shifts over towards your left. Inhaling center. Exhale, feet draw in toward the bum. Feet are narrows, hips distance apart. Hands off to the side of the hips, palms face down. Inhale, peel the spine off of the mat. And coming into a bridge pose. So 2 options for this bridge. You can either make it more of like a Pilates bridge where your entire body is in line, so the shoulders to the knees, or you can open it up into a back bend and slowly roll the shoulders underneath. So whatever feels best on your body. We're holding for 3 breaths. If you are in the spine, slowly coming out, taking a deep breath in, breath out, lowering down 1 vertebra at a time. Knees hung in toward the chest in Apanasana, just being still. And we've made it to Shavasana. So you can extend the legs long if you'd like. If that feels uncomfortable in the low back, feel free to take knee knocking pose. So bringing the feet out wide and have the knees fall together. Arms can rest on the belly or off to the side, or option is to reach them up overhead and creating a diamond shape with the hands. And taking a deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out through the mouth. Another breath like that. And exhale. 2 more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Lengthen your exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Allowing yourself to be still in both the mind and the body for a couple of minutes. Letting the weight of the body sink into the mat, feeling supported and grounded. And slowly starting to wiggle the toes and the fingers. Maybe extend the arms back, pointing the toes. On your exhale, rolling over onto whichever side feels more open, coming into a fetal position. Taking 2 breaths here, letting the body feel nice and relaxed. And slowly coming up to a comfortable seat. By the way, if you feel like you need a longer Shavasana, I never feel like these online classes, I really hold them for long enough just because it just is a little weird sitting there on my mat by myself. But feel free to stay in that resting pose for a few extra minutes. I like to do Shavasana anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. So if you have time this morning, maybe stay in there. And if you're closing class with me, folding the palms together at heart center, bowing the forehead to meet the thumbs, as always, honoring ourselves, honoring our bodies, and honoring this yoga practice that allows us to take this time to turn inward, paying attention to our breath and our bodies. I hope you all have a great rest of your Wednesday. Namaste. Thank you so much for those of you who stuck around for the class. And just a reminder, if you haven't been following along with Flex and Flow's classes, or if you have been, we are offering classes on Zoom now. So if you need a little bit more Zoom in your life, it's actually a really great way to see other people as you're practicing. And it feels a little bit more like somewhat like you're in a studio class. So check our schedule. Usually on the weekdays, those Zoom classes are at 5:30. And then the other classes are on YouTube and Instagram Live. So yeah, thank you guys for sticking around, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye. Bye, YouTube. See you later.